he had really nothing to do with the campaign that was happening today. But you know what really was just like just kind of chapping my ass, was kind of just bothering me a little bit, kind of frustrating me a little bit? The release, the Ayer Cut campaign that was, I guess, put together today by fans, and of course was severely outshined because who knew about this whole Marvel announcement thing, this whole Avengers Doomsday thing? Who knew that that was actually going to be a thing? So fans put together the release the Ayer Cut campaign today, naturally, because David Ayer has a new movie coming out this weekend called A Working Man. David Ayer on A Working Man reuniting with Brad Pitt and patiently awaiting his Suicide Squad release, his cut. The filmmaker understands why DC Studios needs momentum from Superman before looking back at his 2016 feature. Maybe with enough time, it'll be seen as a more nostalgic thing. This is a good picture with David Ayer and Jason Statham. When Ayer last spoke with THR in early 2024, he'd all but given up on the idea that his director's cut of Suicide Squad would be released someday. There continues to be radio silence from DC Studios, but as per a previous conversation with co-CEO James Gunn, Ayer knows that Gunn's new DC universe needs to have the wind at its back before he can consider looking backward. Quote, "It's absolutely fair for them to do that. Maybe with enough time, it'll be seen as a more nostalgic thing. But just for the sake of everybody that worked on, of course, Suicide Squad, it really does deserve to be seen. So I absolutely understand that what James is doing, and I think he's going to have some real success with the lanes he's going down." He understands, right? He understands. He definitely understands. And then even going, okay, we'll be patient. We'll be patient because, hey, it's not going to happen right now. They need some wins. They definitely need some wins. So, I mean, obviously, even with today's campaign, because there's been other campaigns that David Ayer actually really pushed, and him and his wife were posting things. He didn't really do that kind of stuff now, which kind of makes me believe that he had really nothing to do with the campaign that was happening today. But you know what really was just like just kind of chapping my ass, was kind of just bothering me a little bit, kind of frustrating me a little bit? The people who organize this, the loud peeps in the fandom that, of course, we're going to spam the hashtag and do all this shit like that. Could you guys have promoted his new movie instead of just talked about the Ayer Cut? Could you have, like, every 2 or 3 tweets maybe promoted A Working Man? Could you have done that a little bit? Maybe just, since you organized this whole thing in line with his new movie release, could you have promoted his new movie? And I'm not saying that they all didn't. There were some that did, but there were some where I clicked on their profile and saw nothing about the new movie. It was all about release the Ayer Cut and shots and concept arts and all this kind of stuff. And then, of course, the ridiculous posters that have like 17 movies that are never going to ever be made that were on it. And, of course, restore and all this kind of stuff. Nothing about his new movie. Why? Because they don't actually care about these guys. They don't. They don't care. They don't care about what Ben Affleck has to say. They don't care what David Ayer has to say. They just care that they just want their fucking precious little movies. It's all they care about. They don't actually care about the individual. That's what irks me about this whole thing. That's what irks me about the whole thing. They don't listen to the words they have to say. They don't care that Ben Affleck wants to change how filmmaking is and wants to make a difference after the experiences that he has. They don't care. They want him back in the Batsuit and making at least 3 more movies that they want. They don't care that David Ayer is going like, hey, I understand what James Gunn's going through. I think it's going to nail it. He's going to nail it, and hopefully later on we could do something else. Meanwhile, I got my new movie. They don't care about your new movie. They don't care about the new movie. I already got my tickets. I'm there tomorrow with my dad, 4 o'clock. I'll have my first reaction review. Something tells me there's not going to be any reviews with some of the louder people out there. That's right, calling them out.